What is up, everybody? This is Daniel right here, back with another review. This is continuing my review series of WrestleMania with WrestleMania IV. It's all circled around a tournament to crown the new World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion. We see greats in this tournament, such as Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Macho Man Randy Savage, Ted DiBiase, Dino Bravo, Butch Reed. Oh, wait a minute. Dino Bravo's in this! Are you fucking kidding me? We also have 16 matches in this whole show, a Battle Royale, a Tag Team Championship match, Warrior versus Hercules. Yes, that's right. It's a tournament of boring proportions. You'll never see a show more boring in your own life. I am sorry, all you old school fans out there. All you guys out there love the old school stuff. I love old school shit too. But this is the absolute most boring thing I've ever fucking seen. Let's get to the show, shall we? Now, I'm just going to get the non-tournament matches out of the way, so I don't have to talk about them, because they are, for the most part, shitty. We have a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royale that was won by Bad News Brown. Now, I'm not sure why Bad News Brown won this, because even though he did win, it was great that he won and everything, but nothing really came out about this. He never got his world title match from Macho Man or whatever. He never got that world title match. He was promised to be the first black man to be the champion. He never got it. So why have you win the Battle Royale? Nothing came about this. Bad News Brown wins this, last eliminating Bret the Hitman Hart. I give it a 5 out of 10. He was presented this big giant-ass trophy, and then Bret smashed it into smithereens. I guess he can give that a 4 out of 10, but I give it a 5. Next up, we have Ultimate Warrior defeating Hercules in a completely bad fucking match. Oh my god, it was shitty. A dud. A 0. Bruce the Bar Beefcake defeats the Honky Tonk Man via disqualification in the Intercontinental Championship match. This match was alright, but I hate DQ finishes, especially in title matches. I hate DQs. Not ice cream from DQ, but I hate disqualifications. Beefcake got himself disqualified. Honky Tonk Man got disqualified, and Beefcake tried cutting his hair. Whatever, 5 out of 10. Next up, we have the Islanders and Bobby Heenan defeating the Bulldogs and Coco Beware in a match. 5 out of 10. Demolition defeats Strike Force to capture the World Tag Team Championship belts. This was a solid tag team match. Demolition proved that they are the dominating tag team of the late 80s throughout the entire Hulkamania era. And Strike Force would be broken up right after this match. Rick Martel would turn heel, turn into the Model. And Teal Santana, well, Teal Santana continued being a jobber as he was continuing his losing streak of WrestleMania. This was a solid match, a 7 out of 10. Now let's get to the tournament. This tournament have so many matches, like 11 tournament matches, and you just have guys in here that just should not belong. Tournaments are fine. Having a whole show based around a tournament is fine. But this tournament just goes on and on. You have so many people in this tournament that just don't belong. Hacksaw don't belong here. Dino Bravo can fucking... I always hated Dino Bravo. Always thought he sucked. Never knew what made him so good. Hacksaw shouldn't have been in there. Bravo shouldn't have been in there. Butch Reed, no. One Man Gang, hell no. So those guys, edged those guys out and just came up with 8 guys that deserve it. Whatever. Ted DiBiase defeats Hacksaw Jim Duggan. 3 out of 10. Bad. Don Morocco defeats Dino Bravo in a terrible match. Dud. Greg Valentine defeats Ricky Steamboat in a solid match. Actually, until the finals, the best match in the tournament. A 6 out of 10. Macho Man defeats Butch Reed in a terrible match. A 2 out of 10. One Man Gang defeats Bam Bam via countout in one of the worst matches I've ever seen ever. A 0. Jake Roberts and Rick Rude went to a 15-minute draw in the absolute most boring match I've ever fucking seen. Jake Roberts and Rick Rude feuding over Jake Roberts' wife, because at the time Rick Rude was eyeballing Jake Roberts' wife, even had tights printed of Roberts' wife's face on his tights. Really weird stuff. And they just have the most absolute boring match I've ever fucking seen. It was sleeper holds and sleeper holds would go on and on and on and on. It just made you fall asleep. I was going to give that match a 4, but honestly, more and more I think about it, I can't give it more than a 2. It was so fucking boring. And only winners continue, so it got a draw, which means someone gets a bye, and it would be Ted DiBiase that gets the bye. Andre the Giant, moving on to the quarterfinals, Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan went to a double countout. A double disqualification. Nowhere near as memorable as the WrestleMania 3 bouts. However, this was still pretty decent. They attacked the shit out of each other with chairs. I give it a 4 out of 10. Ted DiBiase defeats Don Morocco in an okay match, 4 out of 10. And Randy Savage defeats Greg Valentine in also another solid match here, 6 out of 10. So, thanks to a double disqualification, Ted DiBiase gets a bye. And we go to the semifinals. We only have one match now. Macho Man defeats the One-Man Gang via disqualification in a trash match. It only lasted about 2 minutes, but it was pretty bad. Half star, 1 out of 10. And then finally, we have the finals. Macho Man Randy Savage versus the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase entering his 3rd match. Macho Man entering his 4th match. And what I loved about Macho Man in this whole tournament, every single match he has, he's wearing a completely different outfit. Ms. Elizabeth is wearing a completely different outfit. Ted DiBiase wearing a different, his entrance was always different in the tournament. But Macho Man had a different robe every single different match. It was really cool. This match is alright. It's not the greatest main event in WrestleMania history. It's solid, but it certainly could have been a hell of a lot better. I give it a 7 out of 10. Maybe I'm underrating it a little bit, but I've seen some people give it 4 stars, an 8 out of 10, and I just can't give it that. Hulk Hogan interferes, give Macho Man the elbow drop for the 1, 2, 3. And even though this was Macho Man's moment, he holds the belt high in the air with Elizabeth on his shoulders. You can't help but feel that although this is Macho Man's moment, you can't help but feel that the Hulkster is taking the spotlight away from Macho Man. And I always fucking hated that. Every time I watch the ending of WrestleMania IV, I love the moment. I love it because I love the Macho Man. I always did. Fucking awesome guy. But you just watch that moment and you can't. It's such a good moment, but it could be so much better if Hogan wasn't there, because it just gets a bitter taste in your mouth because Hogan just does everything in his power to take the moment away from Macho Man. And even though he didn't win the tournament, he didn't win the title, he was eliminated in the quarterfinal match, he got disqualified in the match, he still managed to steal the spotlight from the Macho Man. And there's one thing, one of the millions of reasons why I can't stand Hogan. Hogan, the greatest of all time, but he is such a fucking asshole because he has to take the moment away from the Macho Man. Hogan, it's not always about you, brother. So the Macho Man gets the title. He holds on to it for an entire year. And then the Mega Powers explode at WrestleMania 5. While Macho Man's performance is phenomenal, going 4 matches, and I do give it an extra 5 points for his performance, even with his performance, this whole show still sucks. And it sucks for a lot of reasons. But one big reason I have to say why it sucks so bad is because it's just so fucking boring. I am sorry, that all you old school fans love this tournament and love WrestleMania 4. I just don't understand why, though. It is so freaking boring. You know, it's so boring. And all you have to do is watch Roberts versus Rude. It is the most boring match ever. Ever. This WrestleMania gets a 4 out of 10. And you just had some of the worst matches on this card. Ultimate Warrior versus Hercules was shit. Dino Bravo and Don Morocco managed to fucking be in this tournament. Terrible. Butch Reed, Macho Man had some bad matches. Butch Reed and his match against the One Man Gang were shitty. One Man Gang versus Bam Bam was shitty. And then you have Roberts versus Rude in the most boring match of all time. I'm sorry, but WrestleMania 4 is just boring. Even with Macho Man's performance, this still gets a 4. And without it, it would get like a 3. So WrestleMania 4 gets a 4 out of 10. And I catch you next time for WrestleMania 5 when the Mega Powers explode. See ya.